And by popular demand, we're gonna do honey caramelized nuts, or nuts caramelized in honey. So you're working with a really hot pan. So you heat the pan, and the first thing you do is actually put honey in there.
Wait, first you heat the pan, then you put the honey in.
Yeah, well you'll see. When the honey starts to kind of boil, don't put too much honey because cover the pan nicely.
Honey starts to boil?
Yes, honey has to boil.
That seems dangerous.
Well, we have to caramelize, so it has to reduce itself as well as kind of burn a little, but not too much. The trick with this recipe is actually work very quickly when the things start to
burn.
To burn. And if you have a fire alarm in the house close by, make sure you have windows and doors open before you actually start. So, see, the honey actually does boil, as predicted.
What are you going to do?
What we're going to do is put nuts in there. And we'll put, the amount of nuts you put is like 1 layer of nuts in the pan.
Don't touch the hot pan.
Kind of measurement. I think that's good. So we can actually work them around. So that should be enough. And what you constantly do, have it in a very high heat, moving them around, and they're going to get glazed in honey, and at one point both the nuts and the honey are going to get toasty and start to burn a little. That's a very important moment when you actually see that happening. So see, the honey is actually kind of disappearing. It's also evaporated and coated the nuts.
What do you do?
So you do it till you see it's actually starting to scorch a little.
That seems like
The nuts will have kind of a little bit of a scorching effect. Some of them will have black spots or brown spots.
Alright, that's enough scorching effect.
No, it's not. You don't see any black spots yet.
It smells funny.
Okay, so we can leave them for a second, because another thing we're going to do is prepare poppy seed. We're going to roll nuts in poppy seed. It gives us extra flavor and also prevents them from sticking. What you do, you work with at least 2 balls of 2 deep plates, because you're going to move them around. So we kind of put the poppy seed on the bottom of each.
Wait, save the nuts.
The nuts are actually nicely caramelizing. So if you want to savory nuts, another thing you do is put a little bit of ground pepper. It will stick to the nuts.
And cayenne pepper,
If you're really into it, you can put cayenne pepper, but I think the regular pepper is good enough.
I like cayenne pepper.
Alright. You can now reduce the heat a little bit, because the caramelization is obviously already happening. See, the nuts started to brown. That's why you want to catch them. So the caramelization is happening. And if you want to have it really savory, you put a little bit of salt, but very little. The idea is to have like salt crystals get on your tongue once in a while, not have salty nuts.
Also, why you want kosher salt?
You're using kosher salt because it's more coarse and less salty. So that's why we make it a little bit savory. Okay. See the smoke coming out? That's when your fire alarm started to go. You don't want that, so I think we're done. So the next thing is to make sure that it's all nicely covered in poppy seed. You work, don't put it back on the hot one, I put it on the cold one.
Yes.
Still cooking, but less. Meanwhile, I'll work in my nuts here. I want to make sure that my walnuts here, I want to make sure that they're nicely covered in poppy seed. Poppy seed on the bottom. And cut. So we're done. We're still working on our nuts. Now walnuts. Okay. So we all covered them nicely in poppy seed. You want to make sure that your pan, while it's still liquidy, is actually get a blast of hot water.
Careful.
Otherwise, you will never be able to clean it. Remember, it's just honey, so it dissolves in hot water. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to leave it on the stove. We turned off the heat, but it's still kind of hot. Alright, so we'll continue poppy seeding our walnuts. We'll put them in. Not too much. And I think we are done. Kind of roll them around. See, they're not really sticking together. They'll stick a little bit, but can be easily unstuck with your hands when they cool down. Don't try to eat them when they're hot. Let them sit, cool down. The thing you're working with also soak in warm water. And voila. You can also use them in the garnish in your mango or other salad. Just make sure you put them in the last moment, because the juices from the salad, no, the juice from the salad will wash out all the glazing. Just put them on top before serving, and that's what it is.